Hey, Sage.
Yeah.
When's the last time you used Ventrilo to play a game with people?
Back in like 2010.
It's been a while. I'm Rage.
I'm Sage.
And today we're going to talk about social structures and how these things have kind of evolved and changed over the years. And BlizzCon 2017, Blizzard made some announcements where maybe they're trying to catch up on the social structures, so to say.
Yeah, so, looking back, people have used all kinds of things for communication. Obviously, there was Ventrilo. Some people will remember Mumble, TeamSpeak, and all that.
Yep.
And kind of the big dog on campus right now is Discord.
Yep. And why is Discord so popular? Why is it the thing that everybody uses? If anybody's using it, you already know that answer, but let's take a little trip down memory lane here. The joy of typing in the random URL with the random port, with the random password, and everything else like that, and then setting up your username, setting up your phonetic, yada, 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 all the different settings in here on volume up and down. And then whenever you join a group, you would have to ask what type of voice service are you using. You'd have to have multiple programs on your computer. Open those up, you'd have to tab out, enter the information, tab in, make sure they could hear you, tab back out, adjust volumes for that one guy in the raid whose voice is just grinding your gears because it's super loud and it's awful.
And they're just eating the mic, you know it.
Mouth breathers, all that other fun stuff. There's a million things to have to adjust. Let alone, like I said, all the different groups that you could be involved in. And so Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, Mumble, all these things, they've kind of gone the wayside. Some people still use them, and if other people are still using them, some of them are great and still reliable. Ventrilo, Mumble, some of these are great and reliable programs.
If it works for you, stick with it. Don't listen to the haters.
Exactly. But most of us have moved on towards Discord. And why Discord?
Well, the big thing with Discord is, for one thing, you can actually join multiple servers, and they're just a button click away to get into them.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, these individual servers can have various different text and voice chat channels. So, say your guild has this one's for this raid group, then we have another channel for raid group 2, third channel for a Mythic Keystone group,
And I would log in and demonstrate all this, but my ID's down there. And as much as I love all of our subscribers, I don't want everyone to be able to get a hold of me on my Discord.
It could be a bit much.
I'm actually kind of an introverted person, so everybody reaching out, that's why all that information and stuff isn't up there. But normally the groups that you're a part of are displayed over here. The chat scrolls down the middle. You can link hyperlinks, videos, and other stuff like that for people in all different types of gaming. And it's not just restricted to Blizzard Gaming.
No, your Steam profile can be connected. I believe Origin can be connected. You can connect it in even with your YouTube page. Just various other things.
So it's a very advanced, up-to-date software. When you're switching from your, raid night to your PvP to your actual guild, you just click a different button and you're automatic back in and plugged into all the different channels. It keeps it nice and organized. Now, Blizzard made some announcements, and I'm going to go ahead and play that clip here. And then Sage and I are going to kind of react to it and give our opinions and thoughts on Blizzard's throwing the hat, so to say, in the social build-up ring.
Yeah, so let's check that out real quick.
Let's say that you have a guild. You have a raid group that may meet Wednesday nights. Maybe you do PvP during the week. You also, on the weekends, you do pre-made group finder for your raided battlegrounds and your Mythic Keystone dungeons. If all of these social structures take place in a guild, you're probably doing okay. Otherwise, you're probably looking at other apps or other ways to manage those connections and keep in contact. Specifically, if you're doing a lot of pre-made group finder, you might find it really frustrating to every single group you join, having to find the next app you need to download, figure out what server you want to connect to, just to talk to people in that group. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to integrate Battle.net voice into World of Warcraft. So this is the same voice that Overwatch uses, so it's the same quality and the same, it should be the same easy to use. It also is integrated into our game, so rather than having to look at another app to figure out who's talking and correlate that name to the character names in the game, you'll just be able to see a little pop-up with their name and a little speaker icon.
So Blizzard points at a bunch of stuff in this video that we already kind of talked about before we ran to the clip, and that is maybe your guild does all these things in World of Warcraft. PvP, PvE, mythic dungeons, mythic raiding, all these different group activities you can do. And now for Battle of Azeroth, there's even more need because we have island expeditions and war fronts and all these other groups that we can kind of build up.
Yeah.
And so Blizzard is introducing a voice chat program built into the game where when you group up with a group of people and you make a party with them, it'll instantly ask if you want to connect through voice chat. It will display which character is speaking and when, so you don't have to tab out, in and out to figure out who's talking and who's not, or add another app to that to show you.
Yeah, and for anyone concerned about quality, the voice chat features that they're using are the exact same ones they have in Overwatch. So if you've ever played Overwatch, you know that the chat is generally pretty crystal clearer, and it works fine. The only time you run into troubles is when, someone's eating their mic or, their own audio is just bad quality.
Yeah, and I really want to hit on that. I'm excited to test this out in Battle for Azeroth. A lot of people don't give it proper time or even a test, I find. Lots of people are like, no, I'm never using Blizzard Voice Chat. I use Blizzard Voice Chat when I play with a couple close friends that we don't want to set up our own Discord or something else like that, or we just want to have our own thing where not everybody's allowed to just hop in and out. And when I use the Blizzard Voice Chat, things sound really clear all the time. There's never any pixelated sounds. It doesn't cut in and out. And it has really good quality. Whereas Discord sometimes, I think Sage and I can both speak from using it, there are times where Discord is great and it connects and it's great, got social aspects to it, but it does pixelate out. People sound like robots. Words become hard to hear sometimes.
Yeah, Discord's not always the clearest. I'll say it works a majority of the time, but there are those times that it just sounds like something's wrong.
60% of the time.
Every time. So yeah, Blizzard's got this new thing, and what I particularly like about it is that you can actually manage the different groups, as in, you'll still have your guild, and they're your best buds, but maybe you have, 5 or 6 different people in your Mythic Key Runes. Maybe you have a group of people you do raid at Battlegrounds with.
And so it kind of implements that chat structure inside of Discord that Discord uses. You can type and link stuff and stuff like that. But now it's actually in the game. You can keep up with your Wednesday, Tuesday, Friday raid group. You can keep up with your PvP group, your arena group. And you'll have different chat servers, not just voice chat, but actual text chat lines, not server, so to say, but lines and things that you can click on to actually see and keep in touch with people without having to have an extra monitor or tab in and out of the game.
Yeah. And, maybe you'll even have a group for the New World PvP that's coming out.
I mean, there's all sorts of things here. I feel like Blizzard, though, once again, is trying to play catch-up with what has already reached its innovation. Discord is innovation, as far as I'm concerned, and bringing social groups together and managing things for all different types of games and forums and everything else like that. It's really good. And it allows YouTubers to connect with people, channels to connect with people, and different groups to stay in touch. I feel like Blizzard is trying to catch up and go, oh, that's really cool. Us too, guys.
Yeah, I feel like Blizzard's going to be fighting an uphill battle here. It's the same as years ago, you already had Ventrilo and TeamSpeak and all that. And then Blizzard's like, we're going to add voice chat into the game itself. Great idea, but people were already established on these other platforms. It was a hard sell to get guilds and things to switch over. And I feel like they're in that battle all over again.
Absolutely. Getting people to stop using Discord could be a very big uphill battle. Now, for me, I'll say one positive is when I do a Mythic Plus Keystone, and I've got 4 people, but we need 1 more good DPS. We set up the group finder. It puts a item level limiter on it. Find somebody who seems pretty good, and they get in. And now you've got to send them all this information to be able to voice chat with them. Whereas now I don't have to tab out at all. That person will be invited to be able to speak with this party as long as it's a party. And then as soon as we're done with the Mythic Keystone, from my impressions from what we've seen at BlizzCon, is that when the party disbands, the voice chat is over. We don't have to worry about somebody being in our channel or somebody moving around or anything else like that. It just gets the job done and streamlines it. So I feel like that's a benefit to Blizzard. If they actually pull that off and it works that well, that could be great.
Well, and continuing on with that, say you really like doing a Mythic Keystone with that guy. You can actually add him into a separate group that's just like your Keystone party.
Yep.
And instead of having to be in a guild with him or have him in your friends list, you could just have him there and be like, hey, running a keystorm. You want in?
Exactly. Kind of streamlining the way the BattleNet features work already, except you don't have to hashtag number, whatever your name is, battle tag ID. You can just add them to your group. And I think this is important. As a player myself, I raid with 3 different teams of people. I have friends that I do Mythic Plus with, and this could allow me to streamline those social interactions quicker and faster and make them less annoying. And I'm one of those people where if something is annoying, I avoid it.
Yeah.
And now that it could be streamlined, I feel like it's a really good idea. And I feel like it's going to be a good thing, but can it win the uphill battle with the established thing and behemoth that is now Discord for gaming?
I think ultimately it's not going to replace Discord, nor is it going to really impact Discord particularly. You might see more people using WoW stuff for WoW and Blizzard games, but Discord's reach kind of goes farther beyond than just Blizzard.
Absolutely. I don't think that Blizzard stands any chance of shutting down Discord because of all its uses in other games. But I do wonder, will we see more Blizzard usage of voice chat over Discord for Blizzard games in and of itself?
Ultimately, I like what Blizzard's doing, but I almost think if Blizzard had extended the olive branch and gotten Discord, basically Discord usability inside of WoW in their games, could have been something interesting.
I like how you thought about that, and I totally agree. I think we could have had something way more of the olive branch, so to say. I think it could have been something. I think they're trying to mimic things that are really well established and streamline their game, and I always love Blizzard when they try to do something smart, because as much as I defend Blizzard and I'm a Blizzard fanboy, they do a lot of dumb things too.
They have their issues, Blizzard doesn't have a perfect record, but as a whole, they trend upwards.
Exactly. They're pretty successful in gaming, just a little bit.
They've made $1 or $2 at the game.
Just a few. So, Sage and I are curious, what do you guys think? What kind of voice servers do you use in your guilds and groups? Do you use Discord? Do you use Ventrilo? Do you use Mumble? What are your thoughts and opinions on the streamlining and some of the clips that we showed from BlizzCon here in the video? Let us know down below how you communicate with your guilds. And thanks again. If you like this content, hit like, hit subscribe, and share with a friend.
We'd love to hear from ya. Peace, people.